What if humanity could live on Mars? Imagine one day the red planet, which once seemed so far away, becomes our new home. But what would life on Mars really be like? Could we survive? And how would it change life on Earth? Before we jump into this thrilling adventure, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more exciting what-if scenarios. So grab your spacesuit, because we're heading to Mars. Part 1. Colonizing Mars, a new beginning. Mars, the fourth planet from the Sun, is often called Earth's twin due to its similar size and day length. However, Mars is very different from Earth in many ways. While Earth has an average temperature of around 59 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 degrees Celsius, Mars is much colder, with average temperatures of about -80 degrees Fahrenheit, -60 degrees Celsius. Mars also has a very thin atmosphere, made mostly of carbon dioxide, with only about 1% of the pressure of Earth's atmosphere. There's no breathable air, and the surface is exposed to dangerous levels of radiation from the sun. So, how do we make Mars livable for humans? First, we would need to build habitats like domes or underground cities to protect against the extreme cold, radiation, and frequent dust storms that can last for weeks. These structures would maintain a controlled environment with oxygen, water, and food. In fact, scientists estimate that with the right technology, it could take 6 to 9 months to travel to Mars, but we're already developing systems that could help us survive once we arrive. Part 2. Surviving on Mars. The key challenges. Living on Mars would be a huge challenge. Let's start with the air. Mars doesn't have oxygen like Earth does, so we'd need to bring our own oxygen supply or find a way to create it. One idea is to use the carbon dioxide in Mars' atmosphere and turn it into oxygen using machines. These machines would need to be super reliable, because if they stop working, there's no quick way to fix them. Next, the temperature on Mars is freezing cold. Mars averages about -80 degrees Fahrenheit, -60 degrees Celsius. That's colder than Antarctica. To survive, we'd need special spacesuits to keep us warm and safe when we're outside. But even inside our domes, we'd need to keep the temperature just right. Too hot or too cold, and it's dangerous. Another problem is food. Growing crops on Mars won't be easy. The soil there isn't good for plants, but don't worry. Scientists have some clever ideas. One plan is to bring soil from Earth and use it to grow food inside greenhouses. Or, we could grow food in special hydroponic farms, where plants grow without soil. Part 3. Transportation and travel. Getting to Mars and around. Mars is about 34 million miles, 54 million kilometers, away from Earth. So getting there is no small task. It takes months to travel to Mars, and the trip can be dangerous. We'd need powerful rockets to take us there and bring us back. Once we arrive, getting around on Mars would be tricky. With no roads or vehicles like we have on Earth, we'd need special Mars rovers. These rovers would help us explore and move between different habitats. But there's no rushing on Mars. The gravity is only 38% of what we have on Earth, so jumping and moving around would feel a bit different. Part 4. The human factor. What would life be like? Life on Mars would be incredibly different. Imagine waking up every day knowing you're living on another planet. You'd look out the window and see a red, rocky landscape, with the sun looking smaller and dimmer than on Earth. The sky would be a dusty orange, and you'd be surrounded by fellow astronauts, scientists, and engineers working together to make Mars our new home. But let's not forget, it's a long way from Earth. If you feel homesick, you can't just hop on a plane and visit your family. You'd have to rely on communication with Earth, but there's a 20-minute delay each way, so conversations wouldn't be instant. That's a lot of time to wait for a reply. Living on Mars could also be lonely. You'd have to work as a team with the other colonists, but there wouldn't be many people around. That could make things tough, especially if you miss Earth. Mental health would be super important, and astronauts would have to learn how to cope with isolation. Part 5. How Mars will change the future of Earth. Now let's think about how living on Mars could change the future of Earth. One thing is for sure, it would push our technology and science to new heights. We'd learn how to survive in a place that's almost impossible for life. These new technologies could help us solve problems back on Earth, like climate change, food shortages, and energy crises. In fact, our adventures on Mars could help us explore other planets too. Once we've figured out how to live on Mars, maybe we could set our sights on Venus or even the moons of Jupiter. And let's not forget the potential for a backup plan. What if something goes wrong on Earth? If we have a colony on Mars, it might give humanity a second chance if disaster strikes. Mars could become a new home for humans, ensuring the survival of our species. Part 6. The Adventure of a Lifetime. Living on Mars would be one of the greatest adventures humanity could ever experience. It would require courage, creativity, and teamwork, but it also comes with huge risks. Mars is a dangerous place, and there's no guarantee that we could survive long-term. But if we succeed, Mars could become the first step in humanity's journey to the stars. As we look to the future, one thing is clear. Mars is more than just a distant planet. It's a symbol of our curiosity, our determination, and our drive to explore the unknown. Whether we're ready for it or not, the age of Mars exploration is just beginning. So, what do you think? Could humans really live on Mars? Would you want to be part of this incredible adventure? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting what-if scenarios. Thanks for watching, and remember, the future of space exploration is only just beginning.